society says it's important to go to these big famous schools. It's terrifying working there. Just staring at 6 screens every day, assistant traders. I wasn't even trading, but I would see what the traders are doing, and even that was, they're just moving money back in 7:30 to 6, which is 10 and a half hours.
Oh, damn.
5 days a week, so that's 50 hours a week. It's not too bad. But if you're an investment banker, you're doing like 90 to 100 hours a week. I think it's like you're like a modern day slave. If you've never left your country, or the most traveling you've ever done was just a weekend of partying in Cancun, like traveling by yourself, ideally, like don't go with someone, because then you end up just not really getting out of your comfort zone. Like it's harder going by yourself, but you do it, you'll meet so many friends, just stay in a hostel.
You are listening to Living That Life podcast. Subscribe on iTunes and at youtube.com Living That Life for amazing travel videos. View discretion is advised.
That's my main goal in life. Swadee Kap. So, I got a good one. MIT genius programmer here I'm sitting next to in Chiang Mai. Remy actually hit me up. I just met him today. He hit me up on Snapchat. So, guys, if you're in Chiang Mai or anywhere, hit me up on Snapchat. I'm sure you got an interesting story. We can meet up and maybe I'll get you on the podcast. So we're here at Salad Concept here in Niman, Chiang Mai, and he gets to telling me that he went to MIT and he's some, I would call him genius programmer kid, and now he's out here as a digital nomad. So tell us your story. I know you said you're born in Japan. Tell us your story of, just let's get straight into it. How did you get yourself out here in Chiang Mai
Sure.
after graduating with a master's in MIT, guys? Yeah.
I'm just trying to think where to start.
Yeah, shit.
So I was born in Japan. My mother's Japanese, my dad's Dutch. And I guess because of that, I came from a pretty multicultural family. And when my dad retired from work, he wanted to go to Canada because he missed the green. So we moved over there.
Wheatgrass soda. This is really good. Holy shit.
Yeah?
Yeah. Bomb.
Is it bitter?
Okay, green. No, try it.
Sure.
It's sweet.
Nice. Yeah, those wheatgrass shots they have in you like those?
I do them all the time in Chiang Mai, the wheatgrass shots.
They have them here too? I just
a couple juice bars.
All right.
Anyways, going to Canada, your dad.
Yeah. So I went to high school in Canada, and then after 4 years in Canada, I went to school in MIT in Boston.
So how did you get into MIT? What?
Was
that your goal, or was it your parents' goal? Because I know a lot of parents, they'll have.
Yeah, sure. I was always really good with numbers, and I like science very much. I definitely my mom's Japanese. Mm-hmm. Definitely focused on education. Always pushed me.
Yeah. The best work ethic in the world, like they say. The hardest working people. Japan is famous for that.
Yeah, there's hardworking people everywhere, but I think that probably had a lot to do with it. Yeah, just those two together. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was it's a tech school, so it seemed like a good fit.
Cool. So got into MIT, and you finished school, right?
Yeah, so I finished my bachelor's. I got my degree doubled in math and computer science, and then I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do next, so I just did what a lot of people that are kind of lost do, which was going to finance.
Go into what makes the most money.
Yes.
Get a good paying job. That's what you do. Go to school, get the best paying job you can. That's what I did.
Yeah, I would not recommend it at all. So
you're out here, man. That's why we're talking about this on the podcast, man. What we like to share, is entrepreneur success stories, but not necessarily only business success stories, because honestly, a lot of people consider it a success story just to break away from the norm, just to break away from the 9-to-5 paradigm, if that's what you want to do. So just right there, breaking away, so to speak, is a success story. But he also has a successful online income stream or virtual income stream that we'll get into. But yeah, it's a success. That's what we like to do, share a success story. So how did you're in MIT. Did you know, we went to finance.
Yeah, so I can talk about that for a bit.
Yeah.
Sure. So I went to finance,
typical Chiang Mai plains. You guys know my.
Yeah, we're very close to the airport, which is actually very convenient. My flight's 9:30 tomorrow, going to Shenzhen, as I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I was in New York. New York's a great city, mainly because it's in a way it's almost like traveling, just living there, because there's so many travelers, tourists all the time.
Yeah.
So you never really get bored.
Like a touristy city, always entertainment going on.
Yeah, but the job was. It was probably the worst year of my life when I was working
Wall
there.
Street people. You're one of those banking people.
Yeah, but it was terrifying working there. I was like, in a just staring at 6 screens every day. I was like a assistant trader, so I wasn't even trading, but I would see what the traders are doing, and even that was they're just moving money back and forth.
Yeah.
So like if you had in a way it's more like you have like apples and you have oranges, and then you have like a bag of apples and oranges, and basically what they're doing is they're moving their money between owning oranges and owning the bags of apples and oranges.
Wow.
And apples and oranges are like the ETFs, and then the apples. So the bag is the ETF, and then the apples and the oranges are the things that are in the ETF. Mm-hmm. If you're into finance, you probably kind of know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that probably glanced over my head and most people's heads, but you're trading numbers. You're playing literally kind of a game. It just makes money trading.
Yeah, it's just like no soul. It's like it's just not real. And I would see the other guys working there, and they're all like balding, and they're all in their 50s and had white hair, and I was like, wow, like if I don't do something, I'm just gonna be sitting here, and then one day I'm gonna be that,
Yeah, the fat guy.
It's terrifying.
BMW from the 4-Hour Work Week. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good analogy.
Did you know that? Do you know the 4-Hour Work Week? The book?
Yeah, I read the book. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was.
Talked about that first.
So yes.
When did you read that, and when did it all?
So I actually read that afterwards.
After you quit your finance?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
My roommate just had the book. Like, he loved the book. So like, my roommate during my master's, he had that. So I gave it a read, and it definitely clicked. It all made sense.
Is he free now? Is he doing the same shit?
No, yeah, he's working for a company, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like not everyone wants this life,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, I don't understand it, but I don't. Yeah, you don't have to understand it, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just have to understand yourself, right? I think Gary Vee talks about self-awareness, and I think it's so important. Most people don't really know themselves, and even I probably don't know myself 100%. It's
I mean, traveling, you get to know yourself a lot. Traveling and
it definitely helps.
Just knowing what's possible. Like the 4-Hour Work Week probably showed you a ton of what's possible, what people are doing.
Yeah, it's very counterintuitive to what society teaches you. I mean, I think we're all brainwashed, like especially in America. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a system.
Yeah. And it's all it's because of capitalism, just to make money. I can give you so many examples of that. But yeah, I mean, college is probably the biggest one.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier eating some salad wraps and talking about how whatever you want to call it, college is a scam or whatever it is. Whether you want to call it a scam, that's just a word. But what it really means is like, in hindsight, it can kind of be misleading. But at the same time, when we're that young, we don't know what's possible. We don't know what we want because we don't know ourselves. So that's why in hindsight a lot of people say, yeah, it was a scam because it didn't get me what I wanted, and but at the time we didn't know what we wanted. But you can also say it's a scam because you're put into it without a choice. It's just kind of what you do. You're kind of just going down the conveyor belt.
Yeah, I think the most fucked up part about college is like when people apply and actually like decide to do it, they're still 18 or 17. I mean, I was a minor when I was still 17. We don't know any better. Yeah. So you agree to this like contract where you're like, hey, it's $200,000, $100,000, whatever it is. It's a lot. And after you're done, that's how much you are behind. That's
exactly.
Yeah. This is like a funny video I was watching. This guy is very sarcastic. He's like, what better way to get ahead in life than by starting $100,000 in debt?
Exactly. Like college debt, that can be a whole nother video. There's a huge college debt bubble, and college debt is very, very bad. Did you get like any scholarship or anything, or like your parents?
Yeah, there's financial aid. So yeah, I was lucky, but you know, most people at my school were definitely paying, you know, either like their parents or they would get debts, you know.
Yeah, and then that debt basically is is a slave contract to keep you in the job world. Get you go straight into the job world, to stay with the big corporations, because college really is a system for corporations to get good employees. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Call it what it is.
So, I'm losing my train of thought. So
you were in finance, so why did you quit finance?
So that was actually like for visa reasons. Like I'm not an American citizen, so I didn't. There's a lottery you have to apply to get a U.S. visa. So after college, I had a 1 year where I can work in the U.S. without a visa, but it's just an OPT extension. It's an extension on your student visa. So there's a lottery, and I mean the chances of not getting it is not much that high. So I didn't get it. So that means I couldn't work after August anyways. And so like yeah, so it was a massive blessing in disguise, because if I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't have had the balls to quit, you know.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so that was probably the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Okay,
yeah.
You're not as a beast as I thought. No, just kidding. But because it does take balls to, you know, completely drop out from the system. That's why I said, like, just getting away from the system is a success in itself.
Yeah.
But you do have balls because you're out here by yourself traveling. Most people wouldn't do that. So how did you go from that to finding your current situation? Right?
Yeah, so I think that's a really cool. Like when I was at MIT, like all the people there are very smart, but they're all very. A lot of them are very similar. Like the reason why they're there is, sure, they're smart. I would say that's only like 30% of the reason. I think the rest of it is because society says it's important to go to these big famous schools. So they pretty much like listened and followed the instructions. So they're good at following instructions. Because there are plenty of smart people who don't go to MIT, you know, like they're smart enough to, but they're like, you know what, I don't need it. So they figured that out. So that's why when I was in New York, I actually joined like the couchsurfing community, so I would host people.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, and there would also be like a lot of just events at bars, and I think this was probably what like helped me realize like how different people are outside of the U.S. You know, I meet all these people from Europe, from Vietnam. Yeah. So this is where I meet them.
Meeting international people.
Yeah, and they're just so loving. They're way more. There's so many ways to describe it, so I can't really do it. But
the world is a big place.
Yeah, it kind of helped me realize, okay, I need to like get out of this bubble. Because basically I was in the bubble of just, you know, MIT students, and then even my work is finance, so it's very like, similar mindset people where they think, you know, this finance job and money is very important.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best job. You know, I want to be, you know, partner at whatever bank.
Yeah,
like huge corporate dreams.
And my job actually wasn't that bad. As a trader, like the market was 9:30 to 4, so you'd have to be 2 hours before that, and then maybe 2 hours after the market. So you were there from 7:30 to 6, which is 10.5 hours.
Oh damn!
5 days a week. So that's 50 hours a week. It's not too bad. But you know, if you're an investment banker, you're doing like 90 to 100 hours a week.
What the?
Yeah.
So you're there all day basically.
Yeah, I think it's like you're like a modern day slave.
They got the white girl.
The white girl.
They're all on cocaine, right?
I have no idea.
I saw The Wolf of Wall Street. I know it's true.
I'm sure it's not nearly as cool as they make it look in movies. You know, that's the funny thing. Like you know, when we look at people in suits, like we think of, oh, like they're successful. Like you look at them as like, you know, someone to look up to. But I think it's the other way around. Like now when I see someone in a suit,
it's all about the tank top life, baby.
This is a new suit, man.
This is the new
flip-flops.
suit.
Yeah.
It's the freedom. It's, you know, we're just preaching the 4-hour work week here. Just a couple of fans of the 4-hour work week, guys. And obviously, if you don't have that, you should probably get the audiobook or ebook. But
I mean,
it's the new rich. It's being rich in time and freedom, not necessarily in the bank account.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think money is also, like, I don't want to say money is not important. You know, I think it's nice to have money because that gives you more freedom. Yeah. I can give like an example is, you know, when you're traveling, you meet a lot of backpackers, and I meet a lot of hippies, and you know, hippies are always like, you know, money's not important. I don't care about money. But what's ironic is it kind of controls their whole life because they don't have much of money. So, you know, they're like, oh, we can't go to this city, we can't go to this club, we can't eat at this restaurant. We have to go eat at this cheaper restaurant because we don't have money.
And we have to go home in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that too. But, you know, so
because I need more money, so I have to go
Yeah.
home and stop doing what I want to be doing, which is traveling and backpacking.
yeah, so I think the key is that money's not important. So you should make a lot of it so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Because you shouldn't be worrying about money because it's not important. You should be worrying about, well, I don't think you should be worrying about anything, but you should be focusing on things that are actually important, you know?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, family, friends, whatever your passion is, like these are what really matter in life, not money. So if you can get past that rat race barrier, you know, where you have to worry about money, and you know, most people, you know, work 8 to 10 hours a day for money, right? It controls them 8 to 10 hours a day, and probably outside of that too, right? Because they're always thinking about it. So
Yeah, and it structures their whole life. And but oh, you guys, you can't not think about money. How do you not think about money? Getting outside of that rat race barrier, and what the 4-hour work week talks about is how to set up income streams, how to set up automated income, how to use your money and make that work for you. Basically, entrepreneurship 101 here, guys, is be an entrepreneur and set up systems that work 24/7, like an e-commerce store, or like an Amazon store, or like a program, like an app, like a website, like so many different types of automated businesses that the 4-hour work week talks about. Digital marketing, basically the internet, guys. The 4-hour work week is about leveraging technology to work for you so you can have more time for the important things, the family, the friends, the experiences.
Right. Leveraging technology. Like 100% agree with that. Another book I would recommend is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm not sure if you've heard of it before.
Yeah, I actually just did. I know it very well. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You guys should get it, the audiobook or the book. And actually tonight at CrossFit, I met the kid that was Robert Kiyosaki's video producer for his recent campaign.
He's in Chiang Mai living the life.
And now he's in Chiang Mai, and he's doing freelance video producing, still a lot for Robert Kiyosaki, but he was like, yeah, I do video production for Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. I was like, Robert Kiyosaki, what the fuck? Yeah. It's basically entrepreneurship 101, guys. Like the cash flow quadrant, you want to be a boss, not an employee, an investor. Whole nother podcast on that. It could be. So
I mean, it's related to the 4-hour work week.
Very related.
Yeah.
Like
actually, money work for you, not the other way around.
Exactly. I actually, someone gave me the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, before I knew about the 4-hour work week, or around the same time. But those are two good ones, guys, if you're just starting out. So you got out of the finance thing, and then how did you get back to America? Or did you go back to America? How did you find yourself in your current situation and now out here traveling?
Yes, I guess after after my time in finance.
Back to Japan?
No.
To get your new visa?
No. So after my time in finance, I went to Europe again. Just, but I actually knew what I was going to do next. Like, I was going to go back to school. So, at MIT, if you get a high enough GPA in your bachelor's, you get into your to do your master's without having to retake any exams or reapply. So I already had that lined up. After my bachelor's, I just kind of you can defer for a few years. So yeah, after I wasn't able to get a work visa, I knew I can stay in the U.S. if I got a student visa again by being a master's student. Yeah, and then I can also get another OPT. And then if I have a master's degree, there's a higher chance you get the lottery for next time. Yeah. So yeah, I went back to school, back to MIT. But yeah, this time I thought completely differently. Like it was 100% different. Like instead of focusing so much on like schoolwork, I knew like all that schoolwork was useless. I would like do like the minimum amount of schoolwork, and then on the side I would do all these side projects. Like anything that I found interesting, I would like do it. And that's also the year I learned the most about like even programming, because when you actually write programs because you care about it, you know, you really learn it.
Oh, this is dope. I want to make this work.
Yeah, exactly.
This would be awesome.
You work twice as hard. You learn like 10 times as much, and then like 1,000 times more memory retention. Like it just sticks because you can think of
self-education.
Yeah.
That's why. Oh, you said this at dinner. He goes, because I'm like the biggest fan of YouTube, right? He goes, I learned more on YouTube, everything about business from YouTube. More than I learned at MIT, right?
Yo, absolutely. Like I call it YouTube University. Like I tell all my friends, like, you know, and the funny thing is, like, you know, most people at these schools, universities, because all the lectures are on video now, they don't even go to lecture. They just watch it online.
Yeah.
They take tests online, not tests, but they do the homework and they submit it online. You know, I honestly was a pretty shitty student. I never really went to class. And the most mind-blowing part is now like places like MIT and Stanford actually offer these courses for people that aren't even students of MIT. It's like OCW. It's called OpenCourseWare for the MIT ones, and then Stanford I think just has Coursera. And I mean, a lot of other schools are doing this. You know, I think, yeah, it's really bizarre. Like I think it makes no sense that school's getting more and more expensive, but it has less and less value. People still fall for it. I don't know why, but eventually people are going to realize, like, it's BS.
They were our age, you know, like they
but
don't know the alternative because we're in
even
bubbles.
the parents should know, you know? Yeah.
And the parents did it too, so the parents are like, well, we did it when we were your age, so, you know, it's such bubbles, and it's hard to see out of the bubble. That's why we love YouTube, because you can see, oh, what's this guy, and what are these guys in Thailand doing? You know, you can see around the world now.
And even research papers, it's all online, you know, it's new. And the funny thing, like, if you go to lecture, you know, technology and, you know, research is going so fast now, like it's accelerating, that by the time it's in lecture and you're learning it in the lecture room, it's too late. It's not even being used anymore.
Especially
So
the programming stuff and the technology.
Yeah, so it's insane. Like, you don't even have to be a student at these schools, and you can, like, while you're taking a piss, you can be watching a lecture, you know, of George Hinton. He's like the founder of deep learning, talking about deep learning, you know? It's insane. So, and you can do it in Chiang Mai.
Exactly.
Do it anywhere.
So you were, another fascinating thing I wanted to talk to you about is you do programming.
Thanks.
But you are into AI and deep learning because that's like the future. That's the next revolution, is the AI revolution. And you know, you're a fan of Joe Rogan's podcast too. They always talk about, you know, AI accelerating technology. I'm a big futurist, guys. I'm all about Ray Kurzweil. I love watching videos about the singularity. It's just, we live in the most fascinating time ever. We live in a bigger revolution than the Industrial Revolution, than any revolution in history. We live in the biggest digital revolution, and we're right in the middle of the explosion, and like most people don't even know, don't even realize it. So yeah, tell us about like your remote work now. And I know you said it's a startup. Like, how much can you tell us? I know it's in the AI space, and just like, what's your philosophy in AI? Like, it's been interesting shit.
I don't have to go that much in detail on like what my job does, because I don't think it's important for the most people. But I think one thing I could say is that you know, you should really leverage technology. You know, and America is a great place to make money, but it's not a great place for a good lifestyle, in my opinion. Right? The lifestyle here is a lot better. I'm sure, you know, Europe it's much better. So yeah, I think if you can figure out a way to monetize, I don't know, just either like sell things to American people, or just get an American job and get that American income, and then spend it somewhere else, and your money will go so much farther. You know, if you're making 6 figures, having a remote job, that's like making $1 million a year. You know, over here, it's insane. So yeah, that's probably the most important thing about leveraging technology, right? Because I think there's also a lot of like downfalls about technology. You know, even Jack Ma is very skeptical about whether technology will make us happy, and I kind of agree. Like, I don't think people are happier. Maybe I'm just speaking from my own experience, but
that's all we can do.
Yeah, it's like we're like sure, technology is advancing all the time, but I mean, our DNA is still the same. You know, we're still the same as we were 10,000 years ago. So we're not used to just like having these interactions on the computer all the time. You know, like we're missing so much of like this face-to-face interactions. That's sad. You know, we're making people's lives too easy.
Then again, we are meeting because of technology.
That's true.
And bringing this to thousands of people because of technology that have the same mindset as us. So it's definitely a double-edged.
Maybe I'm a little pessimistic.
Me personally, I'm on like Ray Kurzweil's side about. He always talks about the singularity will bring abundance. You know, abundance of energy. I'm very, very optimistic about technology. Obviously, it's a double-edged sword, but we just live in a fascinating time. And, you're right in there working with AI and stuff. So yeah, it's awesome just to see someone in Chiang Mai that's like involved in that deep shit.
Yeah, I think it's like such an important time. You should always think like a few steps ahead of what everyone else is talking about. You know, like people still think university, people still think university is important, and in 10 years, I don't think that's going to be the case. You know, people already know like it's about your abilities. You know, and because of all this freelance stuff, you can go to Upwork and you can find all these freelancers. So it's just the barrier to entry is much lower, I think. You don't need a degree anymore to really show that you're competent. If you have a blog and it's obvious that you know what you're talking about, even if you don't have a degree, like people are, okay, well, look at all this stuff that he's has on his blog. Yeah. He clearly knows what he's talking about.
Okay, thank you.
And how much does it cost to write a blog? Like, it's not $100,000, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I mean, he just gave his best advice there, guys, for like maybe you're in high school or contemplating university. There you go. We live in a new age. Let's just say it, guys. It's unless you want to go into like a very specific. I mean, even that. You know what I'm saying? It's getting more and more obsolete.
And we can also talk about jobs. Like, I think because of technology, a lot of the jobs are also like, there has this false sense of stability. A job, right? Rather than being an entrepreneur. But I think it's also BS because people are going to be losing their jobs left and right. It's already happening. Amazon's going to try to have this Amazon Go store. I'm not sure if you've heard about it. It's, they want to get rid of the cashiers and just have them. It's like only self-checkouts, I think. Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure there are millions of people that are going to lose their jobs because of that. Like taxi drivers are losing their jobs. It's just so much. Maybe a construction one day is going to be automated too.
Oh yeah, I saw this. We were just in Dubai. In Dubai, they had these cranes. They were doing like the brick by brick, and the crane's like in the middle, then it builds it block by block, and like that, the 3D printing, basically big buildings, is coming on slowly now. So
yeah,
we live in like people thought like in the Industrial Revolution, people thought, machines are going to take all the jobs, but we just changed to different. Now there's different types of jobs now, and so it's the same thing, probably on an even bigger scale, but it's just a new time. You got to adapt.
Yeah. And yes, I mean, I think a lot of people say this, like entertainment is always going to be around. And if anything, like because people are going to have more free time, they're going to have more time to consume entertainment, right? So like that'd be like somewhere you should focus on.
Yes.
And obviously like deep learning, all this AI stuff, like that's another good, place to work for sure. And that I don't think jobs will be running out there anytime soon.
AI is the next revolution. If people don't know, artificial intelligence, like sci-fi movies like Her and like Ex Machina. Basically, like in a few years, I don't even want to say how many years because technology moves exponentially, which means faster than our intuition wants to say. We're going to be able to have a conversation with our iPhones just normally, like the movie Her. He's falling in love with his phone. Like that's not science fiction anymore. It's becoming real. And virtual reality. We have the headsets, and we're flying drones, and we can live stream wearing a virtual reality headset anywhere around the world. That's like teleportation. And so yeah.
Do you have a headset? Like
no, I've actually never done it. I've never done it.
I don't think they have it for Apple, but like Samsung phones, you can have it.
Maybe the new iPhone by the time you're watching this.
They
have it. But anyways, we live in a crazy time. I guess they're closing in 5 minutes. What other? How did you find Chiang Mai?
Probably just watching YouTube videos. Yeah. I mean,
boy. No, that's the coolest thing about it is because like you mentioned like Johnny FD, and I was like, yeah, I know that guy. He got me out here, and so to see people You know, to see
fly, sorry.
to see people hit me up and then say like they got out here of YouTube, just to see it continue, and just to just to be able to pass it on and share what's possible with more people. I mean, we're just fans of the 4-hour work week, so again, get that. But yeah, we live in the easiest time ever now to start a business, starting with a blog. If you have a passion, just start a blog. That's how I actually got started. I just started a blog and started writing about travel after my short vacation in Thailand, and eventually turned into being here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like so easy to meet up with you. I just added them on Snapchat, just told them I was here. Let's just meet up at Salad Concept, and that was it. Yeah. But yeah, I think the most important advice is like to really just like take some time and really think about like what's going on in the world. Like, what do you want out of it? And they just don't fall for all the marketing bullshit out there, you know? Because there's so much. Everyone else is just trying to succeed in life, so they'll say whatever they want, pretty much, you know? So just really think that through. I mean, we're both into like fitness, right? So I think I think fitness is like the best example of how much bullshit there is in the world. I can give so many examples. Like, I'm sure you've heard of breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I mean, everyone says.
But Tim Ferriss says like 80% of the experts he interviewed don't even do breakfast or something.
Exactly.
Like that.
I mean, I haven't had breakfast in 2 years. Yeah, you should try. It's like
I don't do it either. I have fruit until like after CrossFit usually.
Right.
Until like 5 p.m.
Damn. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's one of the big ones. The newest one I'm doing is it's just like a newest myth I kind of debunked myself. Is no pain, no gain. You know, people say that all the time, right? Like, working out needs to be like this brutal, like painful experience. And then, you know, nowadays everyone's saying something different. Like, you know, Pavel, I forgot his last name, but he talks about, you know, if you can do 10 reps of a certain exercise, just do 5 reps. Because, you know, we're not like meant to go to failure in real, like in nature. You don't ever really go to failure on any exercise, you know. So I mean, I've been playing with that around a lot. You know, before I would work out, go to failure, because, you know, you see all the guys on the marketing, you know, YouTube or whatever doing it, and now I do that. I always leave a few reps in the tank. You recover better. You can actually train more frequently. I think high frequency training. You know, instead of working out every 3 days, you work out every day, but you just do a little bit every day. And I've progressed more this month than I've made before.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, just things like this, or even like protein, like supplements. You know, like they say you have to eat every 3 hours to have like 300 grams of protein. It's like, it's such BS. You need maybe 80 grams or something. So yeah, just test. Just test it. Yeah, test it on yourself. Do the research. Read articles on both sides, you know, and then make a decision for yourself. And obviously, if you have like good friends that you really trust and you think they have the ability to think for themselves, and you don't have time to do the research, ask them what they think. You know, maybe they have more specialty in that area, so just ask them what they think about that. Yeah.
Yes. Test yourself. Get on YouTube. Congrats, you're already on YouTube. Or maybe you're listening to this on iTunes. And so share this with someone.
It's gonna be on iTunes?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So share this with someone who needs to hear this. Someone who, share this with a good old buddy, old pal. So they're wrapping up here in Chiang Mai. You're off to Shenzhen, China, the Silicon Valley, where they make all the technology.
Yes, Silicon Valley 2.0, I think. But yeah, I just want to really go see it for myself. You know, I think there's a big difference between just reading about something and really just experiencing it yourself. And yeah, I've had other people recommend that place to me, so told me to go. And yeah, if you've never left your country, or you know, the most traveling you've ever done was just a weekend of partying in Cancun, like I would.
That was me, guys. That was me. Yeah, that was me. Up until I was 24, so you got time.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, but I would highly recommend, you know, just like traveling by yourself, ideally. Like, don't go with someone, because, you know, then you end up just not really getting out of your comfort zone. Like, yeah, it's harder going by yourself, but you do it, you'll meet so many friends. You know, just stay in a hostel.
Yeah, like the Bui Vien, Saigon, pub crawl. They got pub crawls going on.
Yeah,
it's popping, guys.
Yeah, and then, you know, make sure you talk to the locals. You know, grab a drink with them. You know, maybe if you buy them a drink, they'll let you in their group. Here, they're so friendly, you don't have to do that, right? They'll give you a drink. Yeah. it's crazy over here. It's like they have nothing, but they'll give you half of it, as Henry Rollins says.
Very kind Thai people.
Yeah, and obviously, maybe if it's your first trip, you go check out the touristy temples and all this stuff. But the most important thing is talking to the locals. Flirt with the girls, or I guess if you're a girl, talk to the guys. Like, feel that out, and just ask people like, what are their dreams? Like what are their hobbies? What are their fears? Like, how much money in their mind do they need to be happy? Like all these like weird things. Try to get in their heads, and you'll see how different it is from wherever you're from, and the mass mentality back home, and then that'll help you think for yourself when you get back, and you'll just have a completely different mindset. Yeah, especially the first country you visit. Everything in life is a marginal utility, right? The first country you visit, the biggest culture shock. The second country, still big, but not as much. And by the time you're I'm probably at 50 now. I still get a lot of because I make an effort, but obviously it's not as much as the first few countries you visit. But if you love it, then it doesn't matter, right? It's the same as working out. Like the first 10 years, so the first year you'll make a lot of progress. The second year you don't make as much. This is true for anything in life. If you want to be the best at something.
And thanks to technology, we can live around the world and experience this random planet that we were born on that no one really knows why. To go into some deep Joe Rogan philosophy. But that's actually a great tip to end on is I actually asking people what's their dream. That's a great open-ended question that I actually do ask locals here. Like you're just chatting. Oh, so what's your dream?
Just the first thing you ask them.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome question because this being out here is this was our dream. And a lot of people actually, they say, when you get down to it, they say make money, and then I'm like, is travel part of that? They're like, yeah, I want to travel the world. Almost everyone will say that. That's a quick tidbit. They are literally waiting for us. But Remy, he's an entrepreneur. He's beast. So hey guys, if you can relate, share this with a friend that maybe can relate too.
Cool. Thanks for interviewing me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. See you guys in Chiang Mai. Peace. Have fun in China. Choo.
Thanks for listening till the end. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a comment and a review. See ya!